Yes, let's take a look at the first part of this chapter is the levels of stress. So, firstly, I will tell you about the definition of the word stress. So, when a word or a syllable is pronounced more forcefully than the others around it, so it's called the stress. Let me take an example. Convenient. So, V is stressed in this word. So, convenient or beauty. Beauty is the stress of this word is beauty. So, as you can see when I pronounce, V and Bu is pronounced louder and longer than the other syllables. In terms of phonetic and phonology, there are 4 levels of stress: is primary stress, secondary stress, half stress, and unstressed. So, what is a primary stress? Primary stress is when a syllable is put most emphasis on, and it is the loudest, longest syllable in a word. So, let me take an example. As table, ta is the primary stress, or continent, continent. And in a one syllable word, that syllable is the primary stress. Or, for example, camp, think. And secondary stress. Secondary stress is a word or a syllable. It is also stressed, but it is a little bit weaker than the main stress, or you can say the primary stress. So let me take an example. Is individual. So in is the secondary stress, and V is the main stress. Main stress. So I pronounce it individual. And half stress and unstressed. Half stress is have no stress, but it is pronounced with full dictionary value. But an unstressed, it is the weakest form, and we often rush through it and we shorten the vowel, so it is normally pronounced as a. So let me take that example. Individual, individual. So the is the unstressed and dual is the half stress. So in the unstressed, we pronounce the, and dual, the half stress with full dictionary value. So individual, individual, individual. And in English, the unstressed and the stressed syllable, they are differentiated by the length, the pitch, the loudness, and the vowel quality. So let me take an example when I pronounce freedom. So free is louder and longer than the freedom. Or flexible. So flex is the stress word, or I can say the primary stress, and supple is the in turn the unstressed and the half stress. I know it's challenging for students to identify with the levels of stress, but these different levels of stress creates the rhythm in your English, in your speech. So what you can do is to look up the dictionary and try. So let's take an example here. Continental. So con with an apostrophe before it and under it. It is the secondary stress, and nant, it is on top and it is before it, so it is the primary stress, and the same like many other words. Let's take a try and practice.
In most two-syllable nouns and adjectives, the primary stress falls on the first syllable, the penultimate. For example, present, water. And two-syllable verbs end in ate has the ultimate stress on it. For example, donate, relate.
Here's one rule which is quite useful. It's about words with 2 syllables. Look at 5 words. Picture, minute, money, doctor, water.
These words are all nouns. Nouns with two syllables usually have stress on the first syllable. Picture, minute, money, doctor, water.
Words ending in IC, SION, TION has the penultimate stress before it. For example, decision, location, accidental.
If a word ends in TION, SION, or CIAN, then the stress is always on the second to last syllable. Information, discussion, politician.
The same rule is true for words ending ic, economic, dramatic, Atlantic, scientific.
Words ending in CY, TY, PHY, GY, ATE taken under penultimate stress, for example, technology, photography. Polysyllabic verbs and adjectives ending in ATE taken under penultimate stress, for example, graduate, estimate. Many suffixes of Latin, Greek, and French take the primary stress on themselves. For example, AIN, like entertain, ascertain. For example, EER, like volunteer, engineer, pioneer. ETTE, kitchenette, berit, blockit. IQUE, ESQUE, picturesque, unique, technique. EE, for example, reviewee, payee, interviewee. OON, for example, balloon, cartoon, lagoon, maroon.
I'm Chi from Group 1. We will present the stress patterns on compound words. First of all, I will tell you about some words whose main stress is on the first part. Let's see. The first circumstance is with compound nouns. And so on compound nouns, the first part either heavily stressed if their structure are as follows. Number 1, noun plus noun, like armchair, bookstore. And the number 2, noun plus verb ing, like bird watching, film making, fruit picking. Next is verb ing plus noun, like swimming pool, melting point. And last is verb plus noun, like big pocket, breakfast. Second circumstance is the compound adjective. On compound adjective, the first component is stress, like the number 1. Compound adjective written as one word, like careless, watchful, airtight. Number 2, noun combined with verb ing, like time-consuming, heartbreaking, top-ranking. Next is the combination between noun and verb participle, like health-related, homemade, and mass products. While there are some compound words which have main stress on the second part. Let me check. The first circumstance is for compound nouns. On compound noun, the second part either primary stress in these patterns. Number 1, the combination between adjective and noun, like greenhouse, blackbird, software. Next is combination between adjective and verbing, like dry cleaning, global warming, public speaking. And the number 3 is a combination between past participle and nouns, like inverted market, controverted election, lost property. The second circumstance is for compound adjectives. On compound adjective, the second component is primary stress. See it in some cases, like the number 1, the combination between noun and adjective, like homeshake, snow white, worldwide. Then is a combination between adjective and noun, like deep sea, full length, second hand. The number 3 is the combination between adverb or adjective and past participle, like strong-minded, kind-hearted, good-tempered. And the last one is the combination between adverb or adjective and verb ing, like good-looking, easygoing, long-lasting. Let's see a video that makes you understand more about the main stress in compound words. Let's see.
I will say the words and I want you to listen carefully so you can tell me where the stress is. Website, teapot, moonlight, bathroom. Hopefully you were able to hear the stress, and the stress is on the second syllable, very similarly to the common nouns consisting of 2 syllables in rule number 1. So the rule is compound nouns are stressed on the first stress. Part-time, homemade, old-fashioned, hard-working. Here, the stress is on the second syllable. Part-time, homemade. Those 2 words consist of only 2 syllables. The next 2 adjectives, old-fashioned, hard-working, they consist of 3 syllables, but the stress is again on the second syllable. And the second syllable is always also the second word. And this is important to remember because the rule really is compound adjectives are stressed on the second syllable, and usually this is the second word.
Now, let's move to part 5.3. In this part, we will learn about weak forms and strong forms in English. Weak form and strong form are really important pronunciation points. Learning weak form and strong form not only help you to improve your speaking but also your listening. Let me show you. Please listen to the sentence. I give them some books. Please focus on the word them. If you just read the word by itself, you probably say them. But in the sentence, its pronunciation is different. It's become So the word them has the weak form and its pronunciation change. It's because we're saying very fast. So instead of saying I give them some books, you could say I give them some books. Most words that have both weak form and strong form belong to a category called grammatical or function words, such as auxiliary, preposition, conjunctions. Functions words are normally used in the weak form with the vowel pronounced as schwa, So they are very weak and sometimes quite difficult for learners of English to hear properly. For example, I gave her a bottle of water. In this sentence, we have 3 words that have both weak form and strong form. The first one is her, the second one is ate, and the last one is of. If we say this sentence in strong form, we could say, I gave her a bottle of water. This sounds so unnatural, slow and more difficult to understand for native speaker, so we should say it in weak form. I gave her a bottle of water. For more information on words that have both weak and strong form, please follow the following table.
Sentence stress can be defined as the prominence with which one or more words in the sentence are pronounced opposed to the other words in the same sentence, and it can be also said that sentence stress is the music of spoken language, and as is it what gives English rhythm or beat. Next to the second part, English has straight time rhythm, which means that straight syllables tend to occur at a relatively regular interval, whether they are separated by unstressed syllable or not, as opposed to the syllable times in Vietnamese language, where each syllable takes roughly the same amount of time. For example, Linda will buy some books tomorrow. In the sentence above, the duration of time from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, or from 3 to 4 is the same. And even though there is no intervening unstressed syllable between 3 and 4, and there are one intervening unstressed syllable between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3.
The main rule really is that words that carry meaning and information are the ones that we stress in English. And really, those are the essential words to the message. And usually those words are nouns, verbs, adjectives, but also negative auxiliaries and any negative words that change the meaning.
For example, A. How do you feel about the film? It's very boring. B. Do you want ice cream or bread? Bread, please. C. What subject do you like? I like English. In dialogue A, the word very gets much stressed than boring because the speaker wants to emphasize his or her feeling, and in the dialogue B and C, the word bread and English is the most prominent because it provides the information for the listener. However, grammatical words are sometimes stressed for emphasis. By placing emphasis on certain words, the speaker shows his or her point of view or important bits of information she or he wants to convey. For deeper understanding about this part, I have here an example. I never said she stole my money. With this sentence, it will have 7 different meanings depending on the placement you put the stress on each word. Now, look at the example. A. I never said she stole my money. B. I never said she stole my money. C. I never said she stole my money. D. I never said she stole my money. E. I never said she stole my money. F. I never said she stole my money. G. I never said she stole my money. In the sentence A, the word I is the most prominent which means I, not you or she or he or anyone else, never said she stole my money. In the sentence B, the word never is emphasized to show that it's not true that I have done it before. Like I have never did that. In the word C, the word said is the most stressed to show that I don't say that, I just think about that, or else just not said it out. The sentence D, I never said she stole my money. The word she is the most stressed to show that I think that someone other than she have stole my money, not she. The sentence E, the word stole is the most stressed to maybe to show that I never said she stole, I never said she stole my money. Maybe she did something with my money, but not stole. In the sentence F, the word my is emphasis to show us that she stole the other one money, not mine, but she has stole the money. In the last sentence G, the word money is most stressed to show that she has never stole my money, but stole something else. Maybe she stole my bag, my bike, or else, but she not stole my money.